Welcome back to another podcast episode, guys. We just did episode 6 of the Book of Boba Fett. We've got Chris here, Tristan's here, I'm here. Let's get into it. What a crazy episode that was. That was a really nice episode.
Yeah.
The budget, like I said while we were watching it, I felt like the budget for this whole episode must have been like astronomical because they had so many characters in there. From previous shows, of course,
Budget for this episode alone was more than episode 9.
Probably.
Oh yeah.
We had the sheriff from season 2 of the Mandalorian.
The marshal.
Or what did I say? The sheriff? Well, I mean,
the sheriff. I mean, yeah.
Isn't it?
Cobb Vance.
Is it the same thing, or I mean, I feel like not really, but
It's synonymous.
He's the man in charge, so he's up there. So we had him, we had Ahsoka, who was also in Mando season 2. We had R2-D2, Grogu, Luke. Did we find out the name? Who was the body double?
Don't know.
We had Mando, obviously Boba and his team. It was just an overall good episode. I don't even know where to begin.
It was more of a setup for different things, honestly.
What do you mean by that?
Like, it set up the war with the Pikes and set up Grogu's not training, his choice on whether or not he wants to be a Jedi or if he just wants to be Mando's kid.
Right. Which
and
I don't know. I mean, I kind of was just like, I don't like that he gave him an ultimatum. Granted, like you had a valid point.
Yeah, where
Jedi,
he's not like doing as the Jedi did before him and like indoctrinated children.
Right, and they were like, okay, you cannot have attachments or we will punish you, type stuff,
Right.
Though I don't know, I feel like Luke was kind of being semi-passive aggressive here because he was like, listen.
A little bit, but at the same time, it's either if you raise him to be a Jedi and he doesn't want to be a Jedi and you rip him from his home,
he's gonna
that's
grow
basically
up
that's basically already worse than Anakin because it's basically
That's
all
true.
those things except Anakin wanted to be a Jedi.
That's true. That's very
true. So he's setting him up to be like the new Darth Vader, but
unknowingly.
Yeah.
Technically, no, I was literally about to say he kind of did that with Ben, but at the same time, not really, because Snoke had like kind of tricked him and everything. So just forget about all that. But where did this episode really start? Didn't he?
This episode started.
He was flying through space. I think he was actually going to go into the planet that Luke was residing on. And I had said in the previous episode, how did he even find out where Luke was?
Well, okay, no, I think you're forgetting the episode starting with Cobb Vance of the Pikes. Forgetting that.
Oh yeah. Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
And his whole little confrontation with the Pikes in the desert.
Yeah, so he kind of
killed them all.
Yeah,
you kill them all. It took the money because honestly, like no one's gonna find out who did that.
That's true.
It's the desert.
There ain't no cameras out there in the desert.
Right.
The marshal kind of, got an idea as to what's going on, with the spice trade and everything. And then Mando kind of filled him in on it later on in the episode, but we'll get to that. So, you would just kind of had that little opening scene, like Chris said. But then the big moment is when he actually went to the planet. I don't even know what planet that is. Did we ever get a name for it?
No, I don't think it has a name quite yet.
I feel like most of the time Star Wars or George Lucas just makes up planets and just gives them identification numbers. He doesn't even give them names.
I think so.
I mean, that's basically what NASA does.
Oh yeah, that's true.
We don't name those planets, we just give them numbers.
Yeah, they're just hit random on the name generator.
They just kind of hit a number generator and go with it.
They just have a name that's like really close to another one, like Tatooine and Dantooine.
Oh no! Can you imagine
Can't
if
tell
they?
me that I'm wrong.
No, you're not. Can you imagine? Wait, didn't we find like
Tatooine's an
2020?
actual place. Like I'm not being funny. Like
Didn't
that's
we actually find a planet with 2 suns somewhere?
if we
Or
did, it's not habitable. I'll tell you that.
no, I mean, well,
Okay, so here's
yeah.
the weird thing about suns, and when it comes to Star Wars, is that it seems like planets have their own individual ones, whereas in our solar system, all 9 or 8, depending on if you count Pluto in the club or not, all share the same sun.
Hmm.
So Tatooine's like situation as compared to everyone else's situation and what suns or whatever they have, it kind of confuses me a little bit
I know exactly what you
scientifically.
mean. Our planets in the solar system rotate around the sun, kind of like how the moon rotates around Earth.
Yeah,
So I know exactly what you mean, because like the planets in the Star Wars universe don't operate like that. Like maybe Tatooine rotates around the 2 suns, and then the one sun just kind of like, because I know it's smaller than the one, so it just kind of rotates on its own. I totally get what you mean, but it's definitely weird. So there's not really like an orbit, because like we kind of have like an orbit, right? Like which is literally around the sun.
yeah.
Most of the planets they don't have that. I think if you paid attention in episode 7, where they found where Han Solo pulled out the map of like basically the whole galaxy, or the Star Wars galaxy or whatever. No planet was like orbiting another, or in orbit with another around like a major object. They were just kind of like in their own little zone. It's very weird. But yeah, no, I totally know what you mean. So what happens after that? I like the little scene where we're kind of watching them build the little temple, and at first we were kind of contemplating whether or not that was actually it. Of course, I think. Go ahead.
Oh, I'm sorry. There seems to be orbits. Like I pulled up
Oh,
a
there
map.
actually is.
There
Okay.
seems to be orbits. Tatooine is outside of this orbit, but
Okay. You'll have to send me that. You have to send me that so I can.
yeah.
What was I gonna say? Oh yeah, of course. With the temple that we saw, I think like in episode 8. Of course that looked like it was a whole lot bigger. So, maybe they just kind of built this one and then they built another one because he got more students.
Or maybe they just it just looks different because of the flames.
Yeah, honestly, I wouldn't mind going back to episode 8 and finding that scene just to see exactly what it looks like. Because for a second, I thought that they went back to the original temple. But then again, there was no way that he would have accumulated that many students to even go into that temple, the
And
original
plus,
temple.
that temple probably has bad vibes, dude.
That's probably
Like,
true.
I'm not even lying there. Like,
Are there Jedi ghosts? Well, I mean, I there are. What am I talking about?
well, the Force echoes.
Yeah.
So you would think that the echo of a massive genocide might not be spreading good vibes, you know?
Right. Yeah. You gotta think, like, I wonder if there's, like, ghosts for, like, people that died. Instead of just, like, Force ghosts,
I don't think so. Like,
you think, and all the clones that were killed, like, do you think they have their own ghost?
no, because the Force Ghost ability is something that is learned. It's not something that just ran. Well, I
No,
mean, I guess
not even a
fine.
Force ghost. I'm just talking
I
like a
guess. I
regular
guess.
ghost.
I don't know. I don't think so.
It would be interesting, I guess. But, anyways, yeah. So,
Anyway.
so we were kind of watching them build the little temple, or hut, whatever you want to call it, where Luke ends up training Grogu. And we actually see that later on in the episode. And then of course no one's anywhere to be found, and these spider droids just kind of build Mando like a little bench, as he said, and he's just laying there. You kind of skip a little bit, and then he kind of wakes up, and then Ahsoka's there. By the way, I for some reason I can't remember what happened in between right then and when he woke up. Does anyone remember?
Well, it was part of Grogu's training.
Oh, okay, that's what it was.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Okay, so he went through like a little bit of a training thing. where he was lifting up the frog and he was gonna eat it like right in front of Luke Skywalker. I thought that was kind of funny. And then Luke catches him right as he's about to eat the, as Chris called it, a frog.
Wrong.
That sounds like a
The
nice
way he
name
said-
for it. Yeah, the way
The way
he
he
says
said
it.
Grogu. No, the way that Luke said Grogu, it sounded like he said someone's name in the same disappointing tone. And I think it was R2.
I think it was as well.
But he said something exactly like that in the original trilogy. I think it was R2 though. I can't remember what R2 is doing.
Probably.
Yeah. I think I know what you're talking about. Maybe like in episode 5 or something.
Yeah.
So anyways, yeah, Luke just literally pulls up all these frogs out of the water.
I think Grogu looks at it. It's like a giant buffet.
Yeah.
All you could eat.
Right. It was kind of funny. And then I was immediately thinking back to season 2 of Mando when he's eating the eggs. He's just eating the frog eggs.
That was a problem.
Yeah,
that was a problem.
Eating the babies, and I'm like, what the heck?
I'm surprised they didn't realize.
Yummy snack.
Oh man, that was terrible.
But what happened to that? What happened after that little scene? Did we then we cut to Mando sleeping, right?
Yeah, and then he wakes up and Ahsoka's there to greet him, and she just says a bunch of like basically
he hears a little crunch and he pulls a blaster and just points it at her.
Right.
Yeah,
Realize
always ready for battle.
Yeah.
But no, they go through this whole like conversation, and it's basically boils down to like, yeah, you have an attachment to him, and he has an attachment to you. But in order for him, number one, he already misses you a great deal, and if he sees you, then it's gonna harm him more than anything else.
Right, it's gonna interrupt his training.
Exactly.
Kind of makes me remember back from when Luke was kind of having a bit of the same issue with Leia and Han.
Yeah.
In episode, I believe it was 5, when they were in trouble and Yoda was basically like, "Listen, if you leave, you're done."
Right. So yeah, she just ultimately she just gave him the ultimatum. It's like either. No, she didn't give him an ultimatum. She was just like, yeah, if you go up there, that's your choice, but you do realize you're going to screw him up more than anything else, right?
Right.
And she said, just don't be selfish. You know you're doing this for yourself. Just,
which you know, I feel like he is.
He kind of was, because he knows that the Jedi Creed forbids attachment,
right?
And that's what Grogu is training to be. So
I wonder if
ultimately he left the chainmail with Ahsoka,
yeah,
just so he could have some kind of armor,
right? What was I gonna say? I said I wonder if like Grogu, like when he gets a little older. Granted, Mando might be dead because it's like
he's
Grogu
gonna
right
outlive,
now is around
yeah.
50 years old.
Yeah, he's gonna outlive Mando by a lot.
Yeah, so it makes me wonder like how many Earth years that is. You know what I mean? Whether it's
he
like,
appears to be like what, 6? No, he's like a toddler. He's way younger than that. No,
he's like at
not
least
toddler.
one.
He's
He might
like,
be at least 2. I think kids usually start to learn to walk maybe around 2, 3. I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he's like 2 or 3.
Right.
Human.
Human baby years, but it's still. This is like the first known fact that we have of Yoda's species, is that they age significantly different. So
right.
1 year, 1 Earth year technically, or not even 1 year, because we saw later, in another like training, where Luke was like training Grogu scene. He's like, would you like to try and remember your home? And Grogu's like, I don't know what that is, because he's so young, and he's like, well, maybe I can help you. And so he touches his head and kind of uses the Force to help him unlock a memory way back in the deepest, darkest like parts of his mind. And we see this little scene where it's Order 66 going on in the temple, and there's like 2 or 3 Jedi. You're just blocking blasters, from the clones, and they all die, of course. And then we just see Grogu's. He's like right behind them, and then the clones start rushing in at him, and then the vision kind of fades. So Grogu was there during Order 66, which we kind of presumed anyways. So it makes me wonder if like he actually ages, like 1 year is 1 year to them, or if like 1 year is just instantly like 50 years for them. I really don't know. It really.
I mean, if how old was Yoda? Is that like a known
he was
thing?
Around 900 maybe.
Well, he said he was training Jedi for over 900 years.
Yeah, that was an episode.
Yeah.
So,
So I mean, he trained. At least that we know he trained, Count Dooku,
right.
He did, yeah.
which was way back.
Yeah, he
But
did.
honestly, Yoda can be so much older than that because of like what 50 years old. Grogu looks like an infant, and
yeah,
he's not even speaking yet.
right.
At least not
Right.
with his tongue, so it's not like he's in any. It's not like Yoda would be in any like shape to train anybody, let alone master the craft at 50 years old.
He could technically be in human baby. Yeah, like every 50 years is like 1 year in human baby years, maybe. Does that make sense?
Kind of like like a dog years type of deal.
Something like that. Like every 50 years, he would be like 1. Like so, like right now, like he's like around like 50, maybe 50, maybe 52.
Right.
Because from the events of season 1 to now Book of Boba
Okay,
Fett,
I see what you're. I think I see what you're
he could
saying.
be,
So
like,
you're
1.5.
saying like every. Hold on.
he
Let me
could be
just so I can clear it in my own mind.
Yeah, go ahead.
So you're saying every like 50 years, he ages the equivalent of like a full like human year of development.
Yes, that is
that
my
makes-
Okay.
speculation.
So
Okay.
I just did the math. That would be 900 years, and Yoda years is 18 years.
Yeah, you said that before.
So Yoda was just 18.
18 in
No,
human
not
baby
not
year- in
necessarily,
human
not
years.
necessarily, because you
Damn.
remember how old Yoda is. Because he was like stumbling around with a cane and all that. Like, yeah, he was nimble in like episode 2, but like
Right.
after that, he was still kind of old using a cane. Like
Right.
he's got to be like 60. Let's say he's like poorly taken care of 60, and he's walking around with a cane, right?
Right.
Yeah.
We're gonna take 60 multiplied by 50. That's about 3,000.
Wait, what are you doing? I'm sorry.
So if you multiply. Yeah, never mind. It's too much work for something that's not even confirmed yet. I'm just
Right.
moving on.
No,
to your
yeah, we're
theory.
just kind of speculating.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm
mean,
just saying,
I don't know,
when it
that's-
comes to your theory, he could be like 3,000 years old.
yeah,
but,
I mean,
um,
that's literally just my theory. There's so many different theories out there, though.
Yeah, and there's not much that we know about Yoda.
Right. Other than this known fact, it's literally like the only literally the second thing that we've ever like found out about Yoda. So,
Yeah.
but back to the episode. So then, yeah. So he met up with Ahsoka. He gave him what ended up being chainmail armor made out of can't even remember what it was called now.
Beskar.
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 Yeah.
Yeah.
Man with the. Yeah,
Man with the Star Wars podcast.
Yeah, and I remember we were kind of speculating that it was like mail for some reason. I don't know why we thought it was like chainmail armor, but there it is.
I mean, it is chainmail armor. Just
Yeah, it is. So,
Beskar.
yeah. Still pretty cool. But, So, fast forward a little bit after that whole thing. We do see, Din not going to talk to Grogu. He just, gives it to Ahsoka, and she gives it to him.
He goes.
Would-
Sorry.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
He goes back to Tatooine because of the upcoming war.
Right. Yeah, he meets up with the whole squad.
And it's quite a lineup. We got Cassandra, you got
How
Mando.
did you just say that?
I missaid it.
Cassandra.
Yes, you did.
Oh fuck! I just
Chrysanthemum.
Cassandra.
it sounds like that YouTuber.
Cassandra.
Say it with me,
John
Tristan. Chrysanthemum.
There's an R in there somewhere.
Chrysanthemum.
Chrysanthemum.
Yeah.
Oh, that's the,
Chrysanthemum.
okay. There's the R. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, Chris. Wait, it's
Chrysanthemum.
Chrysanthemum.
There's a lot of S's in there. That's all.
There's one S in there.
No.
There's one S in there.
Are you
Just
sure there's
one
not
that-
two?
There's like two S's, but it's basically one.
I'll have to go back to episode 4 because she
Look it up.
said his full name like in that episode.
Jordan, just look it up
I'm not
on the internet.
Chrysanthemum.
Internet.
internet man.
Krrsantan. There's not a second S in there.
Man without the.
I mean,
the
I
internet.
know you only use
You're
it for one
Optimus
thing,
Prime a
Jordan, but
little
you
bit.
can use it for other things.
That's great, Chris. Thank you.
Anyway,
Sorry.
point is we got Chrysanthemum, Mando, a few
You
other like.
Still said it wrong.
I'm
Just
literally
shut
reading
up.
it off the
Continue.
screen, Chris. I'm doing my best.
We
damn
got Fennec.
Chris
We've
Antan.
got his band
You
of.
sound like a southern boy.
We got his whole band of Spencer's kids or Hot Topic kids, whatever you choose.
I think they're Spencers. They're definitely
The
Space
Hot
Spencers.
Topic Squad.
Yeah, I feel like they would be the Spencer squad too. Who else?
Face
The back of
He's got
Spencer's
his-
Squad.
He's got his piglings.
Yeah, I mean they're gonna.
What
die.
is this?
His piglings
Jordan,
the
How
Minecraft.
the fuck? How do you keep messing this up?
I'm not messing anything up.
These
I genuinely don't know what that
Gamorreans.
species is called.
Gamorreans.
The Gamorrean, they've been around since the original trilogy.
I know that, but
Holy
I never
shit,
figured
man
that
with
out.
the Star Wars
Shut
podcast moment.
up.
That is a legit man with the Star Wars
The
podcast moment.
Gamorreans. I think he's only got 2. I haven't
Yeah, he's
seen
only
any
got
more.
2.
Oh, he's also got the Rancor, but I doubt he's gonna have that thing battle.
Yeah, I don't know.
Remember,
yeah, I don't think
he said he wanted to learn how to ride it. So you think like maybe?
He might ride it into battle.
Yeah.
He might ride it into
He
battle.
would
and
try
that'd be
ride it
pretty
in battle. I
solid.
swear, if that thing dies though, I'm gonna kill myself.
Yeah, it's not gonna.
It's not.
We'll be fine.
It died again. Oh yeah, and we have
Not again.
we have the trainer. What's his name again? Before I screw it up.
Danny Trejo.
Danny Trejo.
Yeah.
Who
Danny
called him
Trejo.
Danny Trejo the last time?
I did
Who
not
did?
call
Jordan.
him Joe. No.
Someone called him
Courage
Danny
did.
Trejo.
Courage did because I know how to pronounce the
No,
J.
actually, wait, I think it was you.
I wish we
Tristan.
could look over the podcast to look. But...
I'll look over the podcast, but
No, yeah,
we'll do
you
it
will.
right now.
No one
Right
else
now.
can.
the footage will be out there, Tristan. Yeah, I'm
Mhm.
not gonna hide the truth.
Yes, he is. He's gonna edit it.
You hear him just start typing. You know.
So yeah,
This
but
is like
before all
typo.
that happened, before he actually went back to Boba's base of operations, he met up with the marshal again, and he's trying to recruit him and his town, and he's like, "Hey, remember when we took down that dragon? That was some tough shit. So like, help me out." Because he's like, I helped you out with that. You gotta help me out with this. He was really struggling to say, I need a favor, and I can understand that because he had a lot of pride in himself,
Right.
like Vegeta style, So he leaves after the marshal's like, listen, I'll see what I can do, but the whole village is just tired and doesn't want to fight again. So
Right.
he leaves, and then the marshal catches this figure on the corner of his eye, and it's just walking, and it's just like lone Red Dead Ranger type style. He's just walking. He's just like a little blur in the distance, and he tells everyone to get inside, and you don't know who it is until they finally unblur him, and you can kind of figure out who it is, and it's freaking
Oh, that was
Cad Bane.
great.
It's freaking Cad.
That was great.
It was so cool to see a live action Cad Bane. I I kept saying for the longest time that he is dead
Lives.
because
He lives.
he lives. I can feel him. I kept
See, okay.
I kept
Alright, go
saying
on.
I was gonna say real quick. I kept saying for the longest time that he was dead because I saw a unedited, unreleased scene that was supposed to be in season 7 of the Clone Wars, where Boba and Cad Bane, had like a Mexican standoff, and Boba shot Cad Bane in the head, killed him. Cad Bane shot Boba in the head, thus giving him
caused the dent in the helmet.
Yeah, so and Boba, obviously got back up, but that now leaves the question: where did he really get the dent? They just screwed me over.
I mean, there's plenty. There's plenty.
There's so much stuff that he's been doing, but I don't know. It just would have been a nice little.
I feel like we're probably going to get. I've actually no, not probably, definitely going to get like that scene, but with Cad Bane now and Boba now.
Oh,
See, yeah, I was thinking that the moment I saw him,
which is going to be cool.
Yeah. That sounds awesome.
I feel like we're probably going to get that because I mean,
if they didn't
that's been pretty popular ever since it got released.
Yeah.
So I feel like that's kind of why they did this, to set that up, and I feel like they probably will kill Cad Bane in that.
Yeah, which I'd be okay with at that point.
Cad Bane is so
honestly.
old. I don't even, because he's been around since
he looks. I don't know if this is just the makeup or like something, but he looks just paler.
He looks
like
a little.
He doesn't look as blue as he normally is.
I feel like he looks a little too clean, but that's just me.
What do you mean by clean? Like
I feel like he should be, I don't know,
roughed up a little
dirtier, I guess. Yeah, like little scuff marks here
Maybe
and there.
You're not wrong. I mean, it's
not bad. It is not a bad job. I just feel like it should be.
It does beg the question: what has he been doing since the Empire? Like, has he been doing jobs for the Empire like Boba did?
See, that is what I wanted to question, was because he made a comment, and I might be reading too much into it, but it could just be him telling the Marshal, like, hey, like, yeah, Boba, he literally worked for the Empire. But I feel like there was a little too much emotion behind that line. I feel like it was he personally had something against the Empire.
Yeah.
I feel like he probably did, considering the Bad Batch. I mean,
there was a scene in the Bad Batch that I saw.
I mean,
that was
he did
for me too.
Well, okay, no, wait, you haven't.
I haven't finished it.
I haven't finished it.
Neither Tristan.
I haven't.
But you've at least seen like his roles in it, right?
Yeah, I mean, I've seen it. Do you want to do you want us to just tell you, Tristan, or no?
Yeah, I don't care at this point.
Yeah, because wait, was he?
What I saw, and I won't go too much into it, but he was doing another Mexican standoff with one of the clone troopers in the Bad Batch.
Okay.
And like it was actually like one of the Bad Batch members. I don't know who it was. I don't know whether they died.
It was
or lived.
Hunter.
Oh, okay. If you know, don't say it, but I don't know whether they lived or died. But they were, doing a standoff, and I think they might have shot each other. I'm not quite certain. I think maybe Cad Bane shot
I don't
the
think
one
so.
and didn't get hit.
No, he didn't get hit.
Okay.
I don't think. No.
Sounds like him, but that was all I saw. I don't know how it progressed or anything like that. So, I guess I would really have to watch the Bad Batch now to maybe figure out what he's been doing. Granted, I'm sure it doesn't tell us a lot, but maybe like a little bit, like maybe even like a hint. Whether he's been doing bounties, whether he's been staying under the radar, don't know. But that just
who knows?
Makes me.
I mean, I'm sure he's probably been doing bounties, but for who, we don't know.
Right. But yeah, no, I like your theory, Tristan, that maybe he kind of had a little emotion in that, in his tone of voice.
Yeah.
Because I think there's like the hunter code, and I know like a bunch of hunters like kind of stuck together, and did like a bunch of jobs together and made like their own little team and stuff.
Right.
So I mean, maybe one time they did pair up and did a bunch of stuff together and kind of formed a relation. a business relation, if you will, and yeah. So I don't know. We'll just have to wait and see. I'm sure we'll see in the next episode. So yeah, so that all happened. We go back to.
Well, do you think?
Go ahead.
I just want to say, just like comment on the fate of the marshal.
Yeah, go ahead.
What do you think? Like, I think he's still alive.
I would like to
Oh,
think he's still alive.
I don't think I definitely don't think they killed him.
Now
They wouldn't. I don't think they would do it.
I don't think they did either. I just want to like spark that little
Yeah.
conversation.
Dave Filoni's definitely not afraid to kill off people.
Oh no,
Which is
yeah,
great.
he's
Which
not.
is
There's
great.
that.
You know, they don't Disney-fy it like, oh, he
I
died.
love-
There was a big, huge explosion. Oh, he's okay. The next
Right.
episode, like, he's okay. Like Finn got like brutally like sliced in his whole entire back. He's like, oh, he's good. He'll be out for an entire
Yeah.
movie, but he's good. You know, that type of stuff. But anyways.
Right. No, and I love how they set up the one guy just to like die. That was kind of like
What one guy?
rough. The deputy, or is his name the deputy?
Yeah, he was the deputy.
like junior deputy or something.
Yeah, I feel like he might be dead.
Oh, he's definitely dead.
He's
I was
not a main
saying,
character.
they
I mean,
they
he got
literally
shot
just
4 times.
when you
Right.
when you don't have any of the main characters on your ship.
Oh
that-
yeah,
That
the clone troopers.
Yeah.
The clone troopers watching the LAAT go fly down beside them. That has the Jedi on it.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, you know, after all that happened, we did go back to the palace, and they all just kind of meet up, and they're kind of going over their like base of operations and their plan and whatnot. And then, you know, still on Tatooine, we go to the bar that Twi'lek owns. And
Sanctuary.
is that what it's called? Is that the bar's name, the Sanctuary? It is, isn't it? Yeah, you're right, because we just heard that like 2 episodes ago. So the Pikes show up, and we think that maybe they're gonna do a deal, like a spice deal. Yeah, can't say drugs. A spice deal with someone in the bar. And it had appeared that they were going to like this one back room, when really I'm gonna call it a 3PO droid, because I really don't know.
protocol droid.
Protocol droid, yeah.
Man with the Star Wars podcast, I did that on my that was my fault itself. So the protocol droid is like, hey, wait, you forgot your I can't remember what he called it, but you forgot this.
You forgot your luggage.
Yeah.
You
I
forgot
think
your
it's
car
like a
bomb,
Gansano
Chief.
or
Did
something.
you like it back?
Yeah, basically. And then the Twi'lek looked like she widened her eyes, and she knew exactly what was going to happen. And then it just kind of panned outside of the bar, and it just blew up. And I was like, no. I hope she's not dead. I don't know why. It's just like, I don't want her to die. That she seems like a cool character. Granted, I don't know if they're going to do any more with her. But yeah, who else did we fear that was dead? I can't remember his name.
No, Max Rebo.
Max Rebo.
Max
Yeah,
Rebo.
Yeah, Max Rebo better
Rip.
not be dead. I swear.
Yeah, he's dead.
Yeah, and then I said, I'm pretty sure he plays with his feet. And then Chris was like, all right. He was like, he ain't do nothing wrong. And then I was like, I'm pretty sure he plays the piano with his feet, not his hands. And he was like, all right, he did something wrong. But
That was
no,
great.
I actually saw something. It was like an X-ray, and it was like, this is how Max Rebo actually plays whatever the instrument. I keep calling it a piano because it kind of looked like a piano. And it's just like his legs. They're just freakishly long, and they just kind of stretch up, and then they're like on the table playing the piano. I'll have to show you guys it if I can find the picture, but it was kind of disturbing. But at the same time, I was like, yeah, I don't care. It's Max Rebo. He's the coolest character ever. So if they killed him off, me and Dave Filoni are definitely gonna beef. but after that, I can't really remember what happened after that. Did we go back to the training with Grogu and Luke? Someone remember?
No, I think they just came back for the
The
what's it?
question.
Yeah,
Choice, yeah.
the ultimatum.
Oh, I just remembered something that I thought was really cool. It was kind of like a because I literally asked. I was like, "Is this a parallel when he took Grogu on his back and he was like, "Come here, I want to show you something."
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
that was
he
definitely.
yeah, and he did the flip. When he did the flip, I was like, "Yeah, this is definitely a parallel." So I thought that was kind of neat.
Is that a Star Wars reference?
Yeah, basically, is that a Star Wars reference? But yeah, I think pretty much after that, he just that's I think when he took him to the little hut, and he showed him what Mando had brought him, and he was like, "Listen, I'm gonna give you a choice." Passive aggressive, like I said, that's just how I kind of felt. He was like, "I'll give you a choice. If you want to go back, you can go back.
You have two options.
The red pill or the blue pill." And he was just like, "Listen, I got this little box. You want this box or you want this metal chain sweater? But you don't know what's in the box." And then he opened the box and it's freaking Yoda's lightsaber. That was really cool. Like, where's he been hiding that thing? Like, honestly.
Can you imagine if Grogu was just like, well, yeah, Mando has a lightsaber and the Beskar, so
Yeah,
I don't know about that one, big man.
Oh,
yeah,
that's okay.
right.
That's another thing.
Did he show
We
him
never.
the Darksaber?
No.
He didn't, did he? That's
Would
what I
Luke
thought.
even know? I don't. I feel like
Oh.
Luke wouldn't even know what the dark saber is.
I'm sure he would. He's done a lot of
He's
research.
yeah. I
True.
mean, he even had the sacred text. I'm pretty sure it had something about the Darksaber in there. Of
well,
course,
perhaps,
Yoda-
but he's
Yoda
still.
burnt it,
I think he's
Would-
still like a little bit new, so like.
Oh, but Ahsoka would know.
Oh yeah, Ahsoka would definitely know.
Yeah, Ahsoka's seen it before. Wait, did she ever see it in the Clone Wars?
I think she
saw it in
did.
I don't think so.
Oh no, she did.
She
see
saw
it
it in Rebels.
in the Clone Wars. Didn't she fight Maul with it? Or did Maul have his classic red saber?
Maul had his double saber.
Yeah, because after
He had he had the dark saber as well.
didn't he
but
fight Palpatine with the Darksaber? And that's when he killed his
Yes.
brother? Okay. And then that was the last time
because
that Maul had
after
it.
that, yeah, because Savage had the double saber.
Yeah.
And Maul only had a single red saber, and he had the dark saber.
Right.
But then after Palpatine killed Savage, he started using the double saber.
Right. So, I think we're just gonna circle back to the same question. We already kind of talked about this already, but I still have to see Rebels. So, Maul had the Darksaber, then fought Palpatine, lost the Darksaber. I wouldn't
No.
say that.
He didn't lose the dark saber in the fight with Palpatine.
I'm not saying Palpatine
just
took it.
stopped
He
you.
just
He stopped using it.
okay. Do you think because I know in the comics, he kind of breaks out of the prison. Let me ask you this: did Maul have his little organization, the Crimson Dawn, during season 7, or like or did he start doing that after
Season
he got
7
out?
was the. I feel like season 7 was the
The beginning of the Crimson Dawn.
It was the beginning of the Crimson Dawn,
Okay,
except
so
he didn't like.
It really
He didn't fully. He didn't fully form it until I guess after he lost Mandalore.
because you would watch you would watch Solo, and then Rebels, because Rebels he dies. So I guess would you watch Episode 3, then Rogue One, then Bad Batch, or would you watch Bad Batch then Rogue One?
Bad Batch is directly after season 7 of Clone Wars.
You're right. So
Like literally,
Oh, Star
well,
Wars
the
podcast,
first
yeah.
episode of Bad Batch is
Yeah.
Order 66.
I remember now. Yeah. I think Tristan, weren't we up at like 2 a.m. watching that? like the very first
Yeah, we
episode.
watched the first episode and nothing else.
Right. um. So yeah, you would watch episode 1, 2, 3, Bad Batch, then Rogue One. Then I'm thinking you would probably watch the Kenobi series, and then Rebels. I'm really hoping that we'll get like a live action adaptation to that fight scene in Rebels in the Kenobi show. You know, I mean,
What fight scene?
where Obi-Wan was fighting Maul, and that was just
Oh,
like the death of Maul. But granted,
that would be pretty cool.
Kenobi
But
was a
also,
little
I
bit
feel like
older.
no.
He was a little bit older,
Yeah.
so maybe I think you would definitely watch Kenobi like right before Rebels, though. I feel like that much is clear.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, so I don't know. I'm just looking forward to it. So
I mean, really, anywhere in between Rebels and Episode 3.
yeah, that would be acceptable. It would be cool to see him like fleeing, seeing exactly what he does. Maybe even going to Alderaan to deliver Padme. You know, seeing like what he talked about with.
You mean
Senator-
Leia?
What did I say?
Padme.
Got the Star Wars podcast.
Star Wars
Yeah,
podcast.
yeah. Sorry, I don't know what the hell that was.
No,
Yeah.
Padme is a little bit dead there, bud.
Died of the big sad.
She literally died of the big sad. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know. It would be just kind of cool to see some of that. So I don't know. I have high hopes for the show. Did anyone have a favorite part in this whole episode?
Mm.
I thought it was my least favorite part was when he flew by the Jawas and fucking blast them.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
he
honestly.
waved to them too because they were carrying the giant skull of the dragon on their
Yeah,
thing.
yeah.
Yeah, interesting moment.
Wow. Did you
Sure.
have a favorite part, Crush?
I think, let's see.
You want us to come back to you?
Seeing Yoda's lightsaber again was pretty cool.
That
Yeah.
was pretty cool.
Like, pretty
pretty
fun. I think my least favorite part was seeing the building that Ben Solo would eventually destroy.
Yeah, we were talking about that. I think that was just like a starter. And because I'm going to have to go back and look at episode 8 now just to see that one little scene. I'm pretty sure he built something a whole lot bigger.
But I think that knowing what happens in the sequels, I think that it's kind of pointless to kind of, you know.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean,
in a way, it does feel like
pointless. It's like, why am I...
but at the same time, it did happen, and it's just like an obligation for it to happen in the storyline. So it's, yeah.
Oh yeah, this wanted to bring this up. Well, it's not really related to the episode, but it is kind of related to the show. What if we get the second Mandalorian Jedi and it's Grogu and not Din Djarin, like I was saying in the chat earlier?
That's
Crush, you might have to speak up
Possible.
just a little bit.
I said, what if we get the second Mandalorian Jedi and it's, and remember how I said it'd be cool if it'd be Din Djarin. What if it's Grogu?
I mean, it's
He is
possible.
technically a foundling.
Yeah.
He is, yeah, he's technically a foundling.
That wouldn't
So
be a bad idea, yeah.
I wouldn't be opposed to it.
You think Luke would still train him, though? If, like, he were to choose
Hey,
to go back to Mando? Because keep in mind, we
I don't
do
think
have...
so.
Listen,
I don't think so. Not after that.
listen. So, oh, you think he wouldn't train him again after he would leave?
I don't think
Like I
so.
said,
After that
he's
last,
already
Tristan, don't
worked
interrupt
off.
me.
Damn, dude. All right.
Damn.
I'm speaking here.
I was
Tristan, don't
speaking
interrupt
first.
me.
Please, someone talk.
No. Okay. No. What I was saying, like, after that last scene, I feel like that kind of would indicate that, you know, if something like that were to happen, then yeah, Luke would not train Grogu anymore if he
Mhm.
went back to Mando.
You know what's kind of dumb though, is that
You.
yeah, but also that Luke knows what led to the fall of the Jedi Order before.
See, yeah, that's
And
what.
if he would go through and do the same shit that the Council was doing, and guess what that led to?
Yeah,
The second
you
fall
would.
of the Jedi Order.
Right. That's
Violent
exactly
extinction.
Yeah,
what I was saying. Was at this point,
you
Grogu
would
was the worst.
feel.
I
I
was
would
talking,
feel
Chris.
like.
Shut up. Thank you.
Shut up.
Um, no, but at this point, Grogu is even worse off than Anakin was because
You're right.
he's still
A
a little too
child.
old. Well, okay, it's still 50 years, so he's still too old.
Yeah, but that's like nothing to him,
I feel like
Okay,
that's true.
50
I feel
years.
like there has to be
I
some
mean,
kind
there's
of
still.
leeway.
Okay, either way,
Just beat up
Never
on
mind.
Tristan.
never mind.
No, you had a point. You had a point.
Nah, because now my points lost me, and I just don't. want to
All
Oh,
right, Vic.
okay.
All right, Vic.
I'm sorry, I didn't. Shut up, Courage. No, I just didn't want you to feel. I didn't want you to feel like you were getting bullied.
Yeah, well,
It's literally his server.
Shut up.
He can kick any of us.
Chris, did you have a favorite part?
Cad Bane.
Yeah,
Cad Bane is
that
pretty
was
cool.
a nice scene. I'd have to say mine was probably the Order 66 scene in his vision, like flashback. That was really cool. I always love seeing different perspectives of Order 66, even though eventually it'll really get old. But
Yeah, but like seeing what we saw in episode 3, only seeing just wide angle shots, and then
Right.
that scene,
yeah.
Any of them.
I'm sorry.
what are we going to do? Master Skywalker.
We were making jokes that. What was Tristan? You made a funny joke while they were over by the water watching Grogu like stand on that stone.
oh yeah, and then
What
Ahsoka
was
was
the
like,
joke?
"You're so much like your father."
Yeah.
Something along the lines. And Luke just says, "You're so right," and just starts igniting his lightsaber.
Was that
just,
a red saber?
Oh no!
Oh no.
Or he when Grogu was interrupting his meditation to eat a frumg, he just
Wrong.
a from. He just takes out the his anger. Luke takes out his anger on Grogu and punts him with the Force like halfway across the mountain. So, like father, like son, killing the younglings. But yeah, well, this was a very nice episode. Did anyone else have anything else they wanted to bring up, talk about?
Nope.
All right, solid. All right. Thanks for listening, guys. This is a really good episode. Definitely looking forward to next episode.
The final episode, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I think that's.
Oh, this season, right? Isn't Boba Fett gonna be like ongoing?
I don't
No?
know. I honestly
Maybe.
don't know. It would be cool.
I mean,
but
it
I
depends.
think so.
I mean, it depends on when Boba dies. Like, do you think he was there during the First Order rise? Probably, right?
Probably. I'd like to see some of that,
Because
honestly.
he's got to be like 70, maybe 80.
No.
By that point, maybe. I mean, considering, how old would he would be older than
How old would Django be?
he would be older than Leia.
Yeah, he
'Cause if
definitely
he
older
was-
than Leia, yeah, by far.
Because he was
During the events
not.
of the Book of Boba
He
Fett,
was the. No, he wasn't the first clone, but he was one of the first. He was one of the first.
yeah, but he doesn't have accelerated aging. He ages like a normal
Right,
human
I
being.
know that, but still, even though
It said that
even-
he's. It said that he's
even-
41 years old
in this series.
in this series. Yeah.
Oh wow.
because
He's
Leia
like
by
20, in his, like,
Leia
20s.
and Luke by this time are like what? Leia and Luke would be what?
28.
20s, 30s?
28. I did the math.
Okay.
But yeah, that's pretty interesting. His like age, that's crazy. He would have been like around in his like 20s when he was doing jobs for the Empire. It's crazy.
Yeah, so I feel like he'd definitely be like
or
gone
actually,
by the time the First Order rises,
well, depending on how long it takes,
or
I feel
like
like it's not far from
decrepit and
behind.
old.
I feel like it's not far. I feel like maybe in the next like 20 years, or maybe
I
even the
mean,
next 10.
Okay, like I said, considering, well, yeah, I guess when the first I guess there's a difference between when the First Order came about and when like
It ended.
Episode 7 takes place.
Oh yeah, no, of course. No, yeah, that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about when it first started.
Yeah.
But anyways, thanks for listening, guys. We do stream from time to time on Twitch. You can follow me at twitch.tv/HotPocket61. Follow Tristan at twitch.tv/HollowYourKing. You can mainly find him on the channel. Did anyone else have anything they wanted to put in there?
Not really.
Not really. Okay. All right. Thanks for listening.
Ram Ranch really rocks.
I'm keeping that in.
Good. Better.